This is the worst place in all of Brisbane, with every single one of you saying nothing but a huge pit of germs. Not even the locals want to go there. But as someone who literally lives in the most dangerous place in all of America, today I'm checking out the worst suburbs in Brisbane to see if it's actually more chaotic than the USA. But everything that you're about to witness literally changed what I thought I knew about Australia forever, and you're about to find out. Because every time you try to Google, hey, what do I have to avoid when coming to Brisbane? These places always come up again and again. At number 4, we have Bowen Hills, a little tiny suburb about a few kilometers away from the Brisbane CBD, with so many comments saying, trust me, you don't want to be there alone at night. The train station looks so bad, and it smells even worse. Bro, if that doesn't make y'all want to visit this place, then I don't know what will. Now, due to the crazy amount of locals saying how they got attacked by people supposedly on drugs, intoxicated, yelling at random people, and banging on all the doors, I decided to visit in the morning. But even so, I already heard a couple of police sirens, which is always a good sign. And there would be like weird smell as if someone forgot to clean up after their pet. But my gosh, this is an extremely beautiful suburb. It looks rich even by rich people's standards. And the train station is simply normal, just like any other ones across Brisbane, bro. What do y'all mean it looks bad and needs a massive upgrade? They say it also floods a lot, which is why it is cheaper to live here. But when I visited here, this house you're looking at was literally being offered at over 3.4 million. There's nothing cheap about living here. If you say only billionaires live here, I would not have a single doubt. So why exactly do you guys put Bowen Hills as one of the worst, guys? But I mean, maybe we got lucky because there's still so many down the line, and it couldn't possibly get even worse, or could it, mate? But up next, we're checking out number 3 on the list, and that is Ring Hill. Man, I love how many suburbs literally have a hill in their names, just in case y'all forgot you're living on the hill, bro. My Aussie friends call this the absolute cesspit of drugs and homelessness. It's a weird mix of local rich families, young professionals, and then the ever-growing homeless population, which sounds to me like every single American city. But they say if you go out to the basketball and tennis courts with the backpack on your back, people would instantly be worried, thinking that you're trying to sell something illegal, or even worse, not smashing the sub button if y'all don't want to miss any video ever again, bro. But maybe you would disagree, but Spring Hill kinda looks like San Francisco in the US, with all the hills going up, but the homeless population definitely seems to have doubled since my last visit. And I do notice the crazy amount of medical facilities for rehab and stuff, and some places do smell a bit weird, kind of like Bowen Hill. But the local housing prices are a completely different story, as the house we're seeing was being sold for about 2.5 million, which is, we got to agree, way less than Bowen Hills, but still a bit too much, considering that when I look around, it's actually one of the smaller houses. I mean, this neighbor's house looks way more 2.5 million-ish, right? So outside of maybe being chaotic at night, what is wrong with Spring Hill? And aside from that, the local restaurants are so incredibly good and affordable, which is the opposite of the housing cost. It's crazy, I know, with so many things costing literally less than $10 to eat. But it's not like we need a place to live more than we need chips on the table, right? But just like the housing crisis, things will only get worse, because up next, we're checking out number 2, Albion. Now, you might know this place for the cricket matches and the history related to it, but the comments I found literally said otherwise. The lack of urban design is shocking. The Maccas over there stinks. Now, without stepping into Albion, I already noticed how the major roads slice and separate the town into pieces, making it almost impossible to walk on foot. Sometimes the sidewalks would suddenly end, and now y'all have to walk dangerously close to the trucks, which is the opposite of what I imagined Australia, a nation renowned for its walkable city design, would look like. And I can already guess the floods a lot, just like Spring Hill, from all the warning signs along the way. But the local Maccas, bro, there's nothing wrong with it. Nothing smells bad, bro. But yes, $6 for a drink is frankly kinda crazy. Just like the housing market, with a house you're looking looking at right now, selling for almost $3 million. Now, this is at least several times larger than the neighbor's house, even way bigger than what you saw in Bowen Hills. But come on, guys, $3 million. This can't be normal, right? What shocked me the most about Albion is actually the amount of Aussies on the street who kept on saying to me, "Hey, are you lost? Do you need any help?" Which is pretty strange considering I'm just walking around in public spaces like everyone else. Although I was lucky to go there in broad daylight, but I can definitely see how things can go shady as soon as the sun goes down. So I can totally see how a lot of your point about safety is coming from. But wait till you see the next suburb on the list, and that is number 1, Woolloongabba. I'm not butchering the name, right? Is it Gabba or Gabba? But let's see what the locals are saying. GPS doesn't even work there, thanks to the shitty roads and highways. There is nothing but a stadium and absolutely no trees. They call it a suburb built for the people who don't even live here, and you would always end up driving around in circles on the one-way street. I feel like the same can be said for Bowen Hills. Both suburbs are riddled with intersections that go everywhere. There's always that weird diesel kind of smell in the air. And what is that with the amount of construction? It's like ding ding dong every single minute. But housing prices got really insane. As I literally read it to a mate moving out of his house saying he just sold it for over $1.5 million. Now, I know that's still crazy expensive, but you mean to say that if someone were to live a bit further away from the Brisbane CBD, then the housing cost would literally be snapped in half, and y'all call this the worst suburb? Excuse me, bro? The locals are so nice, chatty, and funny overall, and the number of people saying hello to me is higher than the Brisbane average, in my opinion. And they're definitely enough trees, so what are those comments complaining about? But in my time being there, I did notice that some people, I don't know if they live there, but they tend to randomly stare at you for tens of seconds, which is a bit too long, and it does get unnerving. So I don't know if that contributes to the suburb being, as you guys said, a bit undesirable. But if I were to rank all the suburbs from worst to best, it would have to be Spring Hill in the last place, then Albion, because the traffic is really all over the place. Woolloongabba in the second place, driving in and out there has to be a nightmare, even though the housing prices are by far the lowest. And then Bowen Hills being my favorite on the list. But I think we can all say that even the worst suburb over here is way safer than even the safest places in America. So maybe there's not a bad neighborhood in Brisbane. Or maybe I missed something. You can always put it in the comments so I will know where to never ever visit. But in the next video, I'm going to talk about how Australia completely changed the way I look at America and what we have to learn from Aussies before it's too late. But y'all will have to click on the video to find out.